see. Actually, I got to ask real quick. Could you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Exact. Damn it. All right. So anyway, welcome to the Devil's Advocate. If you want to see more great content like this, sorry, I had a little bit of a debacle with my ad roll there, a little technical difficulty. But if you want to support this channel, go to the affiliate link in the description below. Get Insurgency. It's $9.99. It is one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. It's play with people around the world. You may not understand them, but you can have fun killing other people. So, again, welcome to the Devil's Advocate. My name is, as always, Mercolium, and today I am joined by Mr. Teatac. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you? I'm here. I'm here and happy.
You ready to play?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All righty. And returning, we have the one, the praise him, the Messiah of Keck. Messiah, how are you today?
Messiah's doing pretty good. I got paid $70 to attend a children's birthday party in a Tyrannosaurus suit for 5 minutes before they kicked me out, so that's pretty good.
I know there's a story there.
Story time coming on.
True story, but we'll save that for later.
Yes, definitely. That for those who are live, we might get it. If you're watching the snippet, you ain't getting it. You got to watch this live. And returning, the red-headed bitch queen herself, Red and Only. How are you?
I'm devilish today.
You're devilish today. All right. You know, I don't. That's the one thing. I had all this time to set up, and I forgot to do one key setup.
Oh, me?
No, I actually forgot to set up the wheel for my guests.
He forgot to turn off the fan again.
Actually, no,
the one and only fan.
Fuck, you're right. It is on. How the hell?
Oh my God.
Am I live streaming in this booth? Shit. Yeah, actually, I did forget to turn off the fan, but no, I forgot to set up the wheel for my guests, which I'm going to do right now. Well, let's see, I can actually. I really only have to change a couple of them.
It's a good thing Teatac is easier to spell than Messiah.
I think I still have you under as Dick Daddy.
No, it's fine.
So let's see.
I tweeted this out, by the way. No one really follows me, but I tweeted it out.
I've got followers and I've seen one of the things about like Twitter is I see people out there with like they're following 800 people and they've got like 100 followers. I'm like, well, why? Yeah. I've got like 40 some odd followers. I'm following 15 people.
Yeah.
I think my ratio is slightly better.
Yeah, my ratio is okay. I'm at following 167. I got 176 followers. So.
There you go. At least it's closer to 1 to 1.
I'm cool. Yeah, I actively tried to do that too.
Yeah, I'm following 96 people and I've got 35 followers, but I started following these people to get information for my little like head games playing with the liberals.
All right. So, all right, now that I got this set up, for those of you who are watching, if you have not seen the show before, what we're going to do is we're going to create 2 teams. One team will be pro, one team will be con, and then they get to debate my fun little questions. So, we have the Wheel of Misfortune. We're going to spin, see who gets this, and the first one to get it will get to be able to choose pro or con. And, oh, the newbie himself, Mr. Teatac. Yeah. Would you like to take pro or con?
Yeah, let's go pro. Why not?
Mr. Teatac will take pro. And on the con side, oh, crap. Oh, he's going against Red.
You're going down, Red.
Red, you're on
can't save them all, Red.
And helping Mr. Teatac today is going to be... Does he get the person who knows the questions? He does.
Yeah, I do.
You get the host advantage.
All right, Daddy, we'll spank these children.
So it's the Messiah, Keck, and Red versus Teatac and me for the first round. And we're going to go pro. And since we have the newbie, we are going to go first on this one. So now let's get our questions going here. And the list of questions, we have YouTube, the D.O.L, Livestock, the Easy Answer, Hot Topic, Coverage, Family Love, and the Carlin Theory. That's actually about the only one that gives you a legitimate clue. So for us, we have got, first question is going to be D.O.L. And too many clicks. Well, that didn't work out right. Let's put that back into center. There we go. So under the topic of D.O.L, should there be a license to have children?
Oh my God, I'm con.
Yes.
I'm con. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm con.
Yes.
God damn it! You've heard me argue this. How many times have you fucking heard me argue this? I call swapsies.
The only way you get swapsies is if you can fit yourself inside of my booth.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
The only way you get swapsies is if you can fit yourself inside of my booth with me in here.
God, what? Hey, you age restricted this, right?
Nope.
Well, then I guess I'm not getting in the booth.
All right. So, Teatac, would you like to lead this one off?
Sure. I'll see how I do here. So everyone knows that humans inherently are violent, dangerous creatures, and so are their children. Anyone who's had toddlers know that they are extremely violent and little shitheads. Just like my 11-month-old will practically rip the hair out of my 5-month-old or my 5-year-old. So with that in mind, how are they not as dangerous as driving a car into a crowd? I mean, so I would say yes, you definitely need a license to have kids, because you can easily fuck them up and they can easily fucking destroy everything around them.
Exactly. It's a lifetime STD that you're bringing into this world.
Yes.
You know, and depending on if you're a decent parent or not, you know, how are these kids going to turn out? I mean, we have seen how some of these kids turn out, like he said, driving a car into a group of people. So you definitely need to have a license. And what about these women who go out there and have like 12 or 13 children and end up wanting to be on welfare for the rest of their life? Are you kidding me? They need to be euthanized right there. And then that is your poster people for having a license, because most of them, God only knows where those children are going to end up. And I could probably guarantee at least half of them are going to end up in jail, if not all of them. So yeah, no, you got to limit the breeding a little bit. I mean, hell, Asia had it right. What was that? China, you can only, males first.
Yep.
China, you could only have one child.
Yeah. Yep. And it was damn near every time it was a male. And they talk about white privilege. Hell no. Asian male privilege right there.
Okay, to kind of rebut that, the reason China no longer practices that, and that is simply due to a fact of that they had a lack of females. And I foresee the same thing happening with a license for children. If you're going to try and get a license for children, like you already brought up, how a woman could have like 12 different kids, then there has to be a certain point where eventually the government would have to step in and say, whoa, that's a little bit too much for you to handle with your economic stance. So therefore, I'm going to limit you to this number of children. Well, what if all of those children, say maybe max 5 kids, are all boys? And then the next family over has all boys and stuff, and so on and so forth. And the parents themselves are selecting that they want boys. Then you just have a massive influx of boys, and then you don't have enough girls being born due to this license restriction. And so therefore, you're going to have a little bit of a gender drop-off.
All right, so here's my take on the whole licensing to have children. That, there's all these other idiots out there that can, doesn't require a license, only if you want to conceal it. I mean, that's fine, and then people can drive cars, and true, they say you should get licensed, but it's not like they spank you and take away your birthday. So, I mean, and those are like big moving vehicles. These are just humans. They're just children that come into this world, and children bring so much joy and laughter and pleasantness into our lives. I mean, who are we to limit how much people can actually bring this joy into their lives? I mean, what kind of test would you take for licensing any parenting class, and then you actually have to show that you have the skills to be a parent? I mean, how do they test these things? So how are you going to license me a child?
I think you just made the argument right there. I mean, parenting classes, you got to have an IQ test at least, because you don't want Billy Bob Jean and, Brittany May's white trash to be breeding, do you?
Well,
no, you gotta have an IQ test, maybe a DNA test, and find out if they're cousins or not.
Well, and
think of test, but I mean, come on, everybody can even get a GED to pass high school. Even Billy Bob can. Who's to say you can't get a substandard parenting license?
Well, it's this thing is that, if it's government run, a GED is no mark of intelligence. It's just, hey, I was able to pass this test.
This benefits the children. Okay, you've got you talk about these innocent little bundles of joy, and think of what the fucked up parents who haven't gone through any kind of training, have no idea what they're doing, and they end up, leading to the death of their young child because they're inept. It's about the children here. You need to license so that you know what you're doing, so that you can actually raise a healthy child that can function in society in the future.
Exactly. I mean, you got to think of the children, because not every child is a bundle of joy. I mean, for the first year of their life, they're not doing nothing but eating, sleeping, and shitting. And then after that, if you raise them wrong, they're spending the rest of their life, angry at the world, being violent. And most of these, I'm just speculating here, is that most of these women that have 12 or 13 children, I'm pretty sure, like I said, they're going to end up in jail, or they're going to be on the corner selling crack, or, all these things.
How dare you? How dare you? You don't understand what it's like to be a mother or a serial molester by giving birth to these children. You have no idea. How dare you speak for womankind? I just don't even know where to begin with this.
I'm not speaking for womankind. I'm speaking for my kind. I don't want to get robbed by one of these fuckers.
Well, also,
all you need to do is make a fucking deposit. We're the ones who have to show a return on that investment.
And also, who is out there like making up a model for what a perfect parent is? Do we really know, like, is there an on par model for parenting? I don't think so. Every method of parenting is different.
And not just that, but all children are different. There is no real way to be prepared for any one of them. I mean, hell, Charles Manson could have actually impregnated someone and actually created an Albert Einstein. You don't know that. You are not necessarily the product of your parents. So we could actually be denying people the next Obama, the next Trump. You don't know.
The next Charles Manson.
But you're taking it in the direction of what one of the first statements was about China. This license isn't to restrict people from having kids. It's just to make sure that parents know what the fuck they're doing when they go into having a kid.
Yeah, and then
I can't do this anymore.
And then they can get a learner's permit, and they get a child from like an adoption agency or one of these orphanages, and they test them out for at least 6 months, and then if they can raise a child, then they can have one of their own, and they just return it back to the dealership. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a trial period.
There's no such thing as a perfect driver, but you still have a set of standards that you would like people to meet so that they can, not kill everyone around them. It's the same thing with kids.
Yeah, you don't want them to kill everyone around them either.
I swear to God, I hate you for using the question I've actually posed on people in here and put me on the other side. I fucking hate them. Just to clarify, I was actually, a long time ago, I was like, how is it any idiot can have a child? You need a license to drive a car, and those are big, bad machines. And people, they have a bigger influence on this world than these cars do. What the fuck? God damn it, I hate you.
Like half of our argument, at least part of my argument, was from everything you said. So just to give you credit on that. All right.
This is what this game is. My fucking life.
Mr. Stenchover, you're in the wings listening. I'm going to put it to you. Who do you think won this round? I'm going to let you put it into the comments. While we're doing that, see, eventually, when we get enough people watching this, they're going to be deciding who wins and who loses. So. We are going to move on to. I gotta try and sober up for 30 seconds. There we go. All right.
Oh, by the way, Red's got rum again.
Yes.
Oh no.
I got moonshine. I get nervous, so I have to take a shot every once in a while.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Honestly, we have like really no viewer base, so this is a great place to sink or swim. It really is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm still waiting for the sound bites like of Geek Thulu of him being cut.
Yeah, I cucked him so hard on the first episode, and he accepted the cucking.
It was beautiful.
He took my cuck.
So, all right. So moving on. See, these are the moments in between that you're not going to get if you just watch the snippets. So now this is going to go to the con side. Con side. You get to argue. Oh God. Against the Carlin Theory.
Okay.
What? You're doing this on purpose. There's no spinning. There is no spinning.
You get to see the wheel move.
It's a bot.
So.
And actually, this is not the one that you're thinking of, Red. This is a different one.
Just real quick, does anybody know who George Carlin is, the comedian, or was?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, he's a comedian. He was the one who had the 7 words you can't say on television.
Chip is fucking cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Tits!
So, anyway, with George Carlin, he was a very wise man, and he put forth a lot of great little wisdoms here. And he had one when it came to the death penalty. And with that, should we as a society bring back crucifixion, being drawn by horses, boiling in oil, tar and feathering as a form of punishment?
We're against this, correct?
Yes.
Teatac are against this.
And see, I know this routine inside and out, so God. So we have to start this?
Yes, it's to you first. We took the first round.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Okay, I guess I'll start us off.
Okay.
The reason why we stopped doing so many of these legal practices against people who deserve capital punishment, and I'm not saying that, we should get rid of capital punishment altogether. That's absolutely, it's better for the taxes on the people and everything. But the reason why we stopped using these more violent methods is because it was a little bit more inhumane, and it didn't really take into consideration what we were doing to those people. Like, we were becoming the monsters that they already were by enacting, like, lynchings and putting them in boiling oil and crucifixion and whatnot against these people. Nowadays, you don't even need a freaking needle to kill these people. They actually have, like, a little machine, just pew! Little laser right inside of them. Dead. And so it's a lot more humane, and it also just goes to show you, like, we're not going to stoop down to the serial killer's level when when it comes to the time to execute them.
I personally, no. If when it comes to capital punishment, I mean, you have to have a punishment that equals the crime. Serial arsonists, definitely. Let's put them in boiling oil. So, show them what the heat feels like. Especially if they've managed to kill firefighters and stuff like that. If tar and feathering isn't necessarily going to kill you, it might, but it's going to send a message, and not just to you, but to anybody else. I really think that within about 6 months of you bringing back, crucifixions, tar and feathering, stuff like that, a lot of these crimes are going to go down, because put them in prison and all they're going to do is learn to be a better criminal. And, oh, look, they get cable, they get free food, they get a bed to sleep in. Prison's a great fucking place to be. Punish the shit out of them.
Yeah, with the way things are now, kind of prison is almost a glorified kind of cool place to be. So why are we wasting taxpayer money on putting people up in these stone hotels? Why wouldn't we set an example like you said? And the first guy you see drawn and quartered, you're gonna think twice about murdering somebody or doing something like that. Where dipping somebody in hot oil, the screams of agony are going to push people away from wanting to set firefighters on fire.
All right, so my con on this here is, all right, now statistics have shown that basically this kind of punishment is not necessarily a deterrent anymore. Well, let's see, make sure my audio is still on. Okay, so they're showing that this isn't a deterrent anymore. Now, as amusing as this would be, as great as this would be with, putting up, ad revenue and streaming it on different devices, and as much as you could reach the masses, it would just encourage people to maybe set others up and be like, oh, hey, this person did that, kind of like the Salem witch trials. How are you going to prove this person actually did or didn't do these things? It'll be all about the money and all about the revenue. It won't be about the crime anymore or fixing society. And the next thing you know, we're going to be in some dystopian society where people are drawing and quartering each other in the black market for views and arranging fights, kind of like Fight Club, just to see this kind of sick, sadistic shit happen. You think the dark web's bad? Wait till they bring this shit back.
Well, I mean, we're already a sick, sadistic society, and hey, you're just arguing a point for us. You know, we could balance the budget. We could, you know, fix the deficit by putting this on pay-per-view. You know, and I'm going to give a shout out here to Miss Works in the live chat who says, you know, they should bring back the Iron Bull. So definitely, you know, these punishments were effective for a long period of time, and then we got all soft and put these guys into hotels. So no, bring it back. Be hard on them. You got to be tough, especially since, you know, these mamas who are single moms raising 12 children can't raise their children right because they don't have a freaking license, you know.
Maybe if men
somebody's got to punish them.
Maybe women, you say women have to have a license. What about men? Shouldn't they need a license to put their dick in something besides their hand? You guys are the problem.
I'm for that. I'm for that. Let's do that. License everything. Hell yeah, patriarchy.
Patriarchy did it.
And it was glorious until the women came along.
Before that, it was just gay.
What's wrong with that? Are you now against the gays?
Yes.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, we will draw and quarter the gays. That's what we'll do.
I think they would get the hot oil, but
yeah, they get the hot oil butt in their butts.
Oh, but then it's not a punishment anymore, honey.
That might dissuade them then if they got hot oil in their butt. God damn it.
Okay. Last thoughts? No? Good. Okay. Moving on.
I had a thought. Don't accuse me of such things in public.
I think we're going to do one more round with this team setup. And we're going to go to the next topic, which is going to go to the pro side. And we're going to make sure it spins for a good minute so Red can see it's actually spinning. Can you see it spin? It's spinning. Good. Thank you. Oh, YouTube. Red, you will actually like this one.
Okay.
You're on the con side of this. And so let's bring up YouTube. And this one is a very recent topic. YouTube CEO just posted a video that she is starting a new channel. And a thought came to me because she's got all these famous people promoting her channel and everything. Now, she makes a ton of money. So here's my question. Should Susan would fuck her name be allowed to monetize her new channel?
I'm against that.
Yes.
She's already making her money. I mean, this woman had the audacity to ride on her little YouTubers. She reached out supposedly to these communities to get some advice. Well, yeah, these are bigger channels. They've already got merch. They got all this other stuff going for them. They don't need the sweet, sweet ad revenue like the others do. And what's she going to do? The only way I'd agree with her getting freaking ad revenue is if she actually put it toward poor starting YouTubers. That's what it would have to be for, is that she'd have to put it into a charity for us third worlders starting out, struggling in YouTube land. That's the only way I'd be okay with that. Because this woman, she doesn't even understand how YouTube works, let alone, you know, to benefit from, you know, the fruits of our labor, putting all of our, like, the people we subscribe to and watch, putting them in her video just so she can get the views, and doesn't even have the audacity to, you know, show up in her video. She comes to the end and says, till next time in my video, no,
wrong.
I say no, sir.
No, wrong. So think about this. Do you think PewDiePie should be able to monetize his videos because of how much money he makes? Do you think that anyone
live
who
streams.
makes
He should do live streams too.
Yeah, but do you think anyone who makes enough money in Patreon should automatically have monetization turned off because they're making too much money outside of YouTube?
No.
Should a billionaire?
She wasn't the one outside of YouTube. I'm talking about the big creators that she had show up on her video. They've got the revenue already, so they're not getting hit so hard with this ad revenue thing. They've got sources, and so she actually starts taking, you know, ad revenue from other struggling, you know, YouTubers, or maybe she actually had some struggling YouTubers that, you know, included not just them, but include them into the video and be like, hey, look, I just started out and this is what's been successful for me.
Or maybe with this clean wave of content that's going to be coming out on YouTube, it draws more advertisers to the platform. And with the way the system's working, where it's auto-flagging videos and demonetizing them and allowing people to appeal and actually get monetization back, it may be a net plus for all of YouTube. If she continues to put videos out like this, they get a lot of traction and start attracting more advertisers.
Definitely.
Well,
and
with her personality, she's not attracting anyone other than sycophants.
And with her on our side, you know, seeing what it's like, what it is to be a creator, you know, she can see it firsthand what her company is doing, and hopefully, you know, she'll be able to change things by, you know, having that monetization and, you know, having to struggle. I mean, you know, it's not easy getting subscribers, and, you know, she is so amazing at what she did. She's got 15,000 subscribers already. I mean, none of us have got that in like our first day. So, I mean, she's going to be able to show us how to be YouTubers, especially, you know, by her earning this money.
Well, the thing
She'll
is,
be a great example to us.
She's already making
What she could show us is how to be a feminist and get to the top, and then say, "Hey, look, I did it the easy way. Now you struggling motherfuckers, subscribe."
And also, the thing is, though, like, she's taking all of the money from advertisers that we don't see. A very, very small portion of that actually gets distributed down into the content creators. A majority of that goes straight into YouTube's back pocket, which gives, what's her face, Christine
Christina, woe is me at YouTube.
Yeah, whatever.
It's
It gives
Susan.
her a big
Susan, damn it.
Whatever. Gives her a big fat check every month. Like a big fat check, like more than I make in an entire year every month off of these advertisers who all supposedly pulled out, and yet she's paying the content creators like pennies per several thousand views on a video. It doesn't seem right to me then that she should be able to come in and do the same thing that we do, put in the grind and do all the work and be making monetization on her videos if she's already making the big chunk of the bulky check that the advertisers are already pulling in.
Well, I've got another job outside of this. Are you saying that I'm not allowed to earn money off of YouTube?
Yeah.
No, just because you have another
I'm not saying that
job. Just because you have another job doesn't mean that you can't earn money on YouTube.
No,
I mean, she's a working woman. She's a hard-working woman. Damn it. Okay.
No, what I am saying,
being on your knees and burying your face in the pillow is not a hard job.
But are you taking away money from other content creators by doing your job?
No, she's bringing more advertisers to us.
The only thing she's doing is bringing controversy and pissing off everybody else on YouTube.
No. See, this is shining a bright light. Now she's shining a bright light at advertisers that the CEO is there on YouTube making videos and backs everyone else on the platform. So by doing that, it's almost kind of like a show of solidarity with all of YouTube, and the advertisers are going to flow in now, having seen something like this, and with our community, you know, with whatever you want to call it, the anti-SJW type stuff, whoever, is such a small subsect of that any ads they get, they're going to benefit from what she's doing, bringing in these advertisers. So,
exactly.
But if she doesn't monetize her channel, the advertisers will not see ads running on her videos. So she has to monetize in order for this plan to work.
Yep.
Well, then maybe she should do something useful with that money rather than going to CEOs.
That's a fallacy. I don't know if it actually is, but
I don't know. No, it's not monetized.
Okay, I gotta stop. Oh, this is painful. Ow, my soul. Oh, I think I've still got some of it left. Ow, that hurt.
You live with a ginger. How did you have a soul to begin with?
Wait a minute. Who was it that said that her job was a hard job?
I did.
Oh,
you know what? All the other guys looking at her, most likely it'd be a limp job.
Zing. Oh, shade.
Damn. Ow. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to round 2 with this, and we're gonna switch up the teams, and we're gonna switch up the sides as I try and figure out what I'm doing with my life right now.
Wheel of immorality. Turn.
All righty. So we're gonna mix this back up, and first choice goes to Oh, Mr. Teatac, you get to choose first again. What side would you like, pro or con?
I'll do con this time. Con.
I'm gonna go con. And on the pro side is shit. Yeah.
There you go.
I gotta go pro. Gotta stay pro, I guess. Joining Mr. Teatac. I hope he gets red, honestly. Yes. Oh, fight that bitch.
See, I told you. It's a setup.
And all the rest
Shit's rigged, man. It's rigged. It's rigged.
It's pre-recorded.
Hey, at least you're not the last kid to get picked for dodgeball, so.
There's 4 of us here. It's, it's going to be what it is. All right.
What are the odds?
Fuck, I did do that. Well, let's see. Because I switched over like a dumbass, I'm going to have to try and remember which ones we did.
I can tell
because
you it was the Carlin method.
D.O.L.
D.O.L. and
Carlin
YouTube. Yep.
YouTube,
Yeah.
So we'll let the con side go first.
That's right.
And family love.
Oh God.
Oh.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes. I'm sorry, Messiah. This is
It's gonna hurt.
It's something we have to argue for.
Yes, and the con side is actually has the upper hand on this one.
Lay it on me.
So
Or
I'm going to. So the con side is yes, this is wrong. The pro side is no, this is not wrong. To preface this.
So it's wrong, Bobby.
Yes. Okay.
Wrong.
I have no lead up for it, so we're just going to ask the question. Is incest wrong?
God damn it.
Yes, it is wrong.
It is.
All right, so
do we get to go first? Okay, go do it. Do it.
Yes, you get to go first.
Do it, Teatac.
All right. Let's see if I can do it. So, think about your brother, and think about having sex with your brother. It is incredibly wrong. Now, think about your sister. Imagine having sex with your sister. That is fucked up and wrong. Look at your father and your mother. Imagine having sex with your father and mother. That is fucking wrong. Think about if you happen to do have sex with them, and one of you was to get impregnated and have a child. The potential for disabilities and all this detrimental stuff to the child is horrible and should be avoided. Incest is wrong.
Well, I actually have an example for this. Actually, when I was in high school, I had this friend, and I had this dirty habit of hanging out with the untouched of society that, people just didn't like them. We didn't know why. And then I found out later why. People prejudged pretty good. Well, anyway, she was a good friend of mine. We went and we hung out together. She was from Louisiana and she's from the South. They did things differently down there. A lot of people up here didn't understand that. And I was from the South. And so it's like we could bond over certain things. Well, when we get to high school, it turns out that she was dating this guy. And she was absolutely head over heels in love with this guy. And she wouldn't tell any of us for a long time who it was. And she's just like, well, I'm afraid that everybody will judge me. They won't like him, yada, yada, yada. And then we found out when she brought him to one of our parties. And it turns out it was her cousin. And this guy looked like he could have been her brother. He looked like he could have been her older brother. And he was at least 3 years older than her. He was 18 by the time she told us who he was. And so it ruined the family. It absolutely devastated the family. And they wouldn't have regular, vaginal intercourse because they were afraid of procreation. Because even with them being in love, they knew them having children was wrong. It could really screw things up, and they're just cousins. But it divided the family. She is literally roof because she can't pass a normal shit to save herself. All right, because that's the only way they had sex was just purely anal. And it divided the entire family. And so now the only possible babies they could have were butt babies. And that's just, where's the fun in that?
Now, see what you're doing here now is you're just automatically assuming that anybody who has incest is just trying to, or is going to have, you know, retarded babies and everything. Now, if you look back at the Romans, the way they had these, you know, glorious gods and everything is because they kept it in the family. And that's how they got purebreds. And that's how you create a master race, is by keeping it in the family and selective eugenics. Okay.
Exactly. According to alternatehypothesis.com. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Again. But yeah, what Merc was saying, you know, you're keeping all of those positive genes in the family. You're going to keep them in the bloodline. If you try and mix with a different bloodline, you're probably going to disperse those genes a bit. So why not, you know, make it surefire and keep the positive genes within the family? And now I'm going to go wash out my tongue with bleach.
Now, if you want to keep jeans in the family, go to Goodwill, buy a good pair of, like, you know, traveling pants type of jeans, and keep those jeans in the family. Because other than that, y'all fucked.
But think about this: if you're getting,
and besides, the gods, when they kept it in their family, they were divine, and it wasn't just pure, you know, actual intercourse. A lot of them, it was they like swallowed something, and then like it became a stone, or it left their body. You know, there's all kinds of mythological stories about how these creatures were created. It wasn't just, hey, they bumped uglies and created something divine. All right. And so they were immune. They're immune. Humans are not immune to human error. And fucking your brother is an error.
Yeah. Gods aren't flawed like humans are. So you're talking about keeping selective traits. Well, where do you draw the line there? Do you say, you know, oh, we end up being strong, but we end up having heart problems. So yeah, you're going to be strong, but then you're just doubling your chances of having heart problems within your family, and it's just going to snowball from there. So any bad you have in your lineage is just going to almost be a guarantee.
Just because, you know, you're having sex with me, you're going to have children. I mean, who are you more attracted to? You know, when you look in the mirror, you know you're a sexy beast. And if somebody in your family has those same genetics, you know, I mean, love is love. Come on. And
now, I got to ask you, have you seen the movie The Hills Has Eyes? The Hills Have eyes?
Yeah, see, they
thought they were a sexy beast?
This has nothing to do with breeding.
They thought the dog was a sexier beast.
But this has nothing to do with breeding. It's just, you know, sharing the love and keeping it within the family. Because, you know, who else knows you better than your family?
Now, how many people have accidentally become parents? Just people that aren't even related to each other. Hell, we have 2 children we accidentally had, all right? And that was, whoops, honey, I was going to pull out, but the phone rang and it startled me. All right, now what's going to happen with brother and sister Billy Bob?
Just have them neutered.
Wait, that's your okay? So that's your defense to stop incest? Just neuter people?
No, to stop the breeding, neuter them. Incest? What's wrong with that? I mean, it's just love. Yeah, I'm sharing my love with my cousin or my sister. I mean, you know, who, like I said, who knows you better? You tell your secrets to them. So it's more of an emotional bond there, and the sex is so much better when you have emotions attached to it.
Where do you draw the line, though?
Also, I would like to point out that I'm about to do the rest of this episode in the shower.
I say you draw the line in the hallway. Okay, just you know, why go across town when you can cross the hall? No, draw the line in the hallway. There is a line. We do not cross that line.
I need a shot for this shit. Oh my god, I got burned by my own question.
On the upside, here's a good way to end it. If you do believe in incest, at least you're supporting American ingenuity, and you will make a big boom in the coat hanger market.
if you believe in incest, you're wrong. You're wrong, goddammit.
Right.
Oh, good times. Oh, I'm gonna have to burn everything in this booth.
I feel so dirty. My daughter was watching this. My daughter was watching this. Oh my god.
The views and comments expressed in this video do not represent this channel.
It represents him, though.
The devil's advocate.
Yes. All right. Moving on very quickly. So
I like how you didn't put that one in as incest is bad. It was incest is good. So being the con, it was easy.
Yeah. I figured I kind of.
I would have had fun arguing pro, because being from the South and stuff, and the story is honestly for my friend, I could have argued, but they were in love, and it was just anal sex, and you know, they weren't going to have any children, and they knew their love was wrong, but it just felt so right because they looked like each other. It was almost like masturbation, but with someone else's penis.
Yes, boys and girls, that was a true story.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just do oral? Like, I don't
He was
know.
apparently.
We're done arguing this point.
He was as long as he was tall.
All right, moving on.
That
Next
doesn't stop
question.
anybody in my family.
Jesus.
Wow. Oh, the easy answer. The easy answer. And this is going to go to the
peanut
pro
butter.
side first. And where is it? It's the easy answer. So in, what was it, about 10 years ago, there was this, these older people that are super sick. There's no cure for them, and they've got them on medications, like heavy medications just to kill the pain and stuff like that. And they were trying to turn to this one doctor, and Dr. Gavorkian, who was doing assisted suicides. So my question is should we let terminally ill people commit suicide?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
God.
I've got one more person to add to the party. It's this annoying little fish fucker. If he answers me. Hold on, this is about to get interesting.
Is it Bomber?
No.
Oh, okay.
Where you go?
Is it
Oh, boot that
voltaic?
fucker. Did you just say tech?
So I,
I said, hold on. I said, hold on a sec.
Why in every stream is tech brought up? God damn it.
It's not. You just
Okay.
hear what you want.
Oh, I'm also hearing about a half a fifth, so we're good. So this is a good time to, formulate your arguments for this one.
Oh, we're taking a minute.
Apparently, Red's
Yeah.
trying to bring somebody else into the group.
I mean, I've already got a
I'm not
stance on
satisfied
this,
with
so-
just one.
I mean, 3 dicks
don't
isn't
have a
enough
wrench.
for her.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't have a wrench in here.
For
Give me a
what?
wrench. Give me a wrench before her.
Oh, I swear to God. I swear to
I
God.
don't give anybody a wrench. What the fuck?
Wrench me, or I will.
How do I wrench
like
you? Hold on.
Click the
Go to
little
settings.
3 dots by their comments, and then there should be an option to grant them moderator. So just find somebody.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I think I gave it to the wrong person. Shit.
I will beat you.
Yeah, you give it to me. What's up?
Nope. Shit.
Teatac got one. Give it to him. He could have one. That's
Wrong person. God damn it. Oh, there she is. Okay.
fine. God damn it. It's still not wrenching me.
There you go.
You suck.
Give it to everybody else first.
Oh, you
In the
put it
comments,
chat?
really?
Oh my
Well,
god.
because
God.
Dolph is like whining.
What have you done?
All right.
No, wait,
What are we doing?
2 of the 4 viewers, I think, are related to us.
Whatever. All right.
Yeah, I'm
So,
watching it.
pro
But let's move on.
side. Should we let terminally ill people commit suicide? We're going to go to the pro side first. And Messiah, would you like to take the lead on this one?
I'm con.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'll,
All right, so
I'll handle it, I think.
I'd like to open
Alright,
on with
alright.
a bit of a sad story. When I was 13, my grandfather was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer.
Oh, come on.
Basically, since my father wasn't around most of my life, I turned to him as a father figure. And when he started showing, the signs of all the radiation and chemotherapy treatment and whatnot, and he was not the same person. They had to bring in a hospital bed. He rarely ever got up out of there. Some days he was too weak to even feed himself, and I know he was in constant pain. He would always be waking up with these horrible nightmares and night sweats and whatnot. And he was just a mess. He was an absolute mess. And there were days where you could see it in his eyes. He never said it, but you could just see it on his face that he was in so much pain. He just did not want to live on this planet anymore. And as much as I love my grandfather, and as much as I would have liked to have kept him around, I recognize that it's better sometimes to put down somebody you love before they suffer too much, rather than just wait it out and wait for them to die.
Definitely. I mean, that is a sad story. And I mean, if you see an animal that's suffering,
I had to do the same thing with. I had to do the same thing with my dog, and I don't understand then why we're keeping people alive to let them suffer when we're not above killing an animal before it suffers too much.
Exactly. Just especially if I'm in a point where I can move a hand and I'm pretty much gonna die. Like I'm so far gone that I'm gonna die in 5 years, or I can die right now. Fuck it. I'm going to save that money for my family. I'm going to just end it right here. And by me taking my own life in my hands, hey, I can tell my family, come here. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Everybody leave the room. I'm done. And that's it. No more pain, no more suffering for anybody. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. Why so serious?
Yeah.
God damn it to hell, Jim Bob.
Yeah.
I'm also like such a fucking bitch.
Yes, you
Don't
are.
take any of this personally, Messiah. But my religion, mofos, my religion.
The only argument you can do against this.
Dare you? How dare you? You did not create this life. You did not design this life. There was a plan. Everything is planned. How dare we decide that we know better? You may be the Messiah of Keck, but Keck is not life. Keck is just an institution. So how dare we decide what the gods want? We are humans and we have errors. How many times have people been on life support and they're like, oh, no brain function, no life function. We should just end it for them. That's what they'd want. But we don't know what's on the other side of that plug. And we could pull the plug and they could be sent straight down into a shit show called YouTube. You never know. Okay? They could have writhing agony 10 times, 1,000 times greater than anything they're experiencing right now. And we could have just drop kicked their miserable, suffering asses straight into that fire. And we don't know. We think we know better, but we are just human. No, we are just Evo.
Who's to say that suicide isn't part of the plan? If it wasn't part of the plan and somebody went to kill himself, God would step in and say, nope, you can't do that.
Because it says in the Bible, that suicide is wrong. So
I'd say that in my Bible.
In almost every major religion, you don't have to believe in religion, but religion is real and God is real, and the Christians have it right, I think. So by allowing stop, I won't get through this.
I'm sorry.
By allowing someone at their weakest point to end their life, you are, like Red said, essentially sending them to hell. And do you really want that on your conscience? I mean, when you get to the gates and God says, what did you do with your life? And you said, well,
my family killed me.
I sent someone I love to hell. And he'll say, oh, really? Well, you're going too.
But see, how am I sending somebody to hell if they're committing suicide?
You're allowing them the option. Yeah.
I am letting them make an adult decision.
No, they're in pain, man. They're in pain. When you look at an animal, like the animal has will to live all the time, but when it breaks its leg and it's in excruciating pain and it's not experienced pain like that before, and it doesn't really, in its small mind, doesn't realize that there is life after that once it heals, and you put a bullet in its head, then you are robbing it of its chance to experience a greater life after that.
So, I mean,
if I put a bullet in its head, then it's dying and it's not suicide. So by your religious standards, if I kill it, it's going to go to heaven.
Also, I'd like to point out that this is an argument to authority.
What? Oh, fallacy. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know all this shit.
I believe in phallaxy. I believe in any phallic symbol I see knows what they're doing.
I got
oh my God! How dare you put this on here? You fuck it. Oh, God,
you have to religiousness this one, and it's
yeah.
Yeah, I had. Well, see, thanks to God. Thankfully, I was born again, brain dead when I was younger.
All right.
So, so I was like really religious growing up, so I could actually argue the suicide and all that all day, and I can argue the pro side of it all day. But this is way too serious for a Sunday with people fighting hangovers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I think some of them got easier. See, my apologies. I wasn't quite prepared this last week, and came up with these questions the last couple of days. I wasn't prepared, and I apologize. That's all my fault.
Well, he wasn't prepared because all of a sudden his wife decided to go stream whoring yesterday, back to back or ass to ass, depending on how you look at it. So.
All right, so we're gonna move on. And this Pro had this, or yeah, Pro had. Oh fuck it, we're just gonna play.
Yeah, Pro started it.
Oh, coverage. This is a good one.
Is this the maple leaf thing where you cover your dick with a maple leaf and fig leaf?
So
next week we'll do women driving in Afghanistan.
In the thoughts of irony, you can go out there like with all the Hurricane Irmas and the floods and everything that's happened. I'm just hoping a lot of these people had insurance coverage, right? The floods. I mean, they could be considered an act of God, right? Well, my question is, if those are considered an act of God, can atheists get insurance for acts of God?
And we have to say no.
Yes.
Oh, I love my life.
Who goes first?
Pro. Oh wait, no. Pro.
No, we were Pro last.
Teatac, you want to take it, or you want me to take it? Leave that question.
You got anything right off the top of your head? Yeah, leave it up. Do you have anything off the top of your head?
Yes. As a matter of fact, no, they can't get insurance for acts of God. They can get them for the acts of dog, though. So if their dog happens to piss in their car and flood out the engine or something, sure they can. Otherwise, they should get spaghetti monster insurance. We'll put colanders on everything for them. You poor little whiny shits. Oh, there is no greater power. There's nothing else out there. Oh, wait, save my house.
Yeah, if you're whining and if you're bitching and complaining to get God taken off of the U.S. currency, then they should just put a line through acts of God in your insurance coverage. Fuck you.
You should freaking riot at the gates of real authority, government, because you don't believe in a God. Get government to say acts of spaghetti monsters.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, is that acts of big G God would be considered smiting. The plagues, locusts, stuff like that. That would be. I could see atheists not being covered under acts of capital G God. However, when it comes to insurance coverage, you have to look at the fine print and read everything and all the details on this. So when it comes to
can't read, that's why I don't.
So when it comes to insurance, as you can see, atheists should be able to get coverage for the acts of little G God, which is a title under
floods,
tornadoes, and stuff like that.
It's basically
Hold on, what was Noah in?
Noah was in a deluge.
You're in a delusional state.
But see, it's in the fine print, as if you can see in the question, it's not acts of capital G God, because there's no reason, it's not a proper noun. So it's the little G God that we're looking at here. And yes, they definitely should get coverage, and it's insurance. If I'm going to pay for it, you're fucking right. I'm going to get insurance for it.
Well, then here's an idea. If you're such an intellectual, informed consumer that you are with, the great big things, itty bitty little insurance prints, how about when you're going over your contract saying, I do not believe in God, I would like a clause that actually includes my lack of belief in anything other than flying spaghetti monsters. How about you guys do that rather than, getting what we benefit from? How about you guys create your own set of benefits?
So here's my question, though, is it if you believe in this God that is going to provide for you and give you benefits and take care of you in your time of need, why the hell do you need insurance anyway?
Well, see, because there's great grand
insurance
plans.
of acts of God.
Atheists don't believe in any God. See, I'm agnostic. I'm not saying anything's right, and I'm not saying anything's wrong. We drink Dr. Pepper. Why? Because you don't know what it really is. So we're up in the air, and we're like, hey, okay, maybe acts of God, maybe acts of circumstance, whatever. But you guys outright say there is no God. There is no God, so you don't get coverage. End of story. Mic drop.
Yeah, but you only get half coverage if you're in there. It might be, it might not be. No, you don't get to play the fence both ways. What are you, a bi-religious? No, that doesn't work that way.
No. Think about how the sentence is formed. Can atheists get insurance for acts of God? Okay, I'm still going to go. I don't care between capital G and lowercase g, because floods are floods and that's God, whatever. But if an atheist believes in an act of God, he therefore believes in God, which means he's not an atheist anymore. So atheists cannot get insurance for acts of God.
They should get insurance under acts of, oh my God, life.
You're no longer an atheist if you believe that God created an act of God.
What if the atheist interprets it in his own way as an act of circumstance? Or by chance.
Spell it as circumstance.
And that's all God is an act of circumstance or chance.
And that's basically all it is inside of an insurance policy. It doesn't actually legitimately say, hey, listen, you have to be a Christian in order to reap the benefits of this insurance policy by acts of God.
What now? Mic drop that.
I'll drop your mic down my throat.
No, what I'm saying is they can get the insurance. That's the can part, right? They can get the insurance. But once they believe, if you call it an act of God, once they believe that it is an act of God, circumstance or not, they are no longer an atheist.
Yeah, and so they honestly, what I say is they cannot be covered under acts of God. They should, however, be able to petition their insurance companies or big brother government and say, hey, I would like this changed. I would like to be covered under acts of happenstance.
Well, see, but by your own argument, if I get the insurance for coverage of acts of God, I'm no longer an atheist, so it doesn't matter because now I'm not an atheist and now I'm covered by it. So boom.
So no, atheists can't be covered because now you're not atheist.
Can atheists get it?
I can still get it.
Cannot.
I can get it.
You're not an atheist. You're not an atheist anymore.
But when I get it, if I get it, I'm an atheist, and then once I get it, I'm no longer. So for me obtaining it, I'm an atheist.
Once I've obtained it. Nobody said you couldn't obtain it. You're not covered if you're atheist.
But you can't get atheist.
You're no longer atheist.
But you're no argument. I'm no longer an atheist.
No. See, you can get the insurance, but then when you go and file the claim and find out if you're covered or not, you cannot get covered if you're an atheist. If you decide, oh, wait, yes, I want to be covered under acts of God, at that moment, you are now a believer in something other than spaghetti.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
And here's the brilliance of the Christian religion. Hey, guess what? Last second, boom, I believe in Christ. Now I'm covered.
Yeah, but at least we get something out of the deal other than, wham, spaghetti's not real.
Yeah, because when you call it into your insurance company, what are you going to say? You're going to say it's an act of God. At that point, you believe that it was an act of God, therefore you are no longer an athist, which means atheists cannot get the insurance for that.
But I got the insurance in the first place. I paid for it. It's mine. All I have to do is, repent and say I'm a Christian, get cash out, and then back to atheism.
Yeah, but so during the time that you're covered, you're no longer atheist. During the time of coverage, when you say, oh, I am covered under this, you're no longer atheist. You can be a born-again atheist, but at that moment you're covered, you're no longer atheist.
It was a moment of lapse of judgment.
You don't necessarily have to convert back into it. You can just be a hypocrite.
Like Christian.
Cool. Dick Daddy got the win. You just be a hypocrite. And at that point, you're no longer an atheist, you're a Christian.
Yep. Oh, fuck. If there is a hell, I'm there.
I'm telling you, the planet hit us. This is our hell. This is our hell.
Cool.
Or heaven, depending on how you look at it, because I'm having a shitstorm of fun.
Yeah, because that CEO bitch put out her video right after that happened, right? So this is
right?
hell.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, we were all having kinds of technological glitches. Unfortunately, your glitch landed on me.
All right. How many questions was that? Was that 3?
It was your mom.
That's
what it was.
I think that was 2.
It was 2?
Was it?
God, my freaking foot hurts. God,
I don't know. There's a good one in here that I really want you guys to get.
I want a good one too. When am I getting it?
Did we do incest?
We did incest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coverage.
Incest? Oh, okay.
And then
I thought we did another one. Maybe we didn't.
We did.
Carlin Theory. Hold on a second.
That was another one. Oh, assisted suicide.
Yeah, we did assisted suicide.
That's 3.
It said assisted suicide and coverage. Yep, we did 3 each side, I think.
All right.
I say we do one. I don't know how many questions you got on there, dear. But I say we do one, and like we did last week, and make it a free for all. Where do you want to argue? I'll let everybody else argue wherever they're going to argue on it,
Ooh,
and then I'll be contrarian.
Then see.
I'll take the opposing side of whatever's popular.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so I got 2 more questions I want to do, and so we'll try and get to both of them.
Should parents be allowed to beat their children to the brink of death?
We'll ask my surviving children if that's a good thing or not.
You were surviving. All right.
I'll beat the pad out of you, Bobby Boucher.
This is a question that goes into mental health.
I'm fucked.
And dealing with people like some of the people I deal with at work, they're this person one minute, they're this person next. I mean, they seriously seem like they've got multiple personality disorder. Now, my question is that like when they get home, when they get horny, they play with themselves, right? Everybody does. Everybody jerks off, rubs off, whatever. But can a person with multiple personality disorder be charged with rape for masturbation?
This is a free-for-all, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll let y'all go first, and then I'll take the opposing unpopular position.
I'm going pro. I'm going for it. All right, so
go for it.
Each person has the ability and should have the ability to give consent for their body, right? When your mind is connected to your body, it is your body. So if you are wanking off and all of a sudden you switch to another personality, you are no longer that person. You are another person. Now, whether or not the new person knows who was wanking off, that's just like someone with a mask raping you, So you may not know who's doing it, but you know it's happening and you know it happened. So I do believe that it is rape, yes.
Well, no, if they switched over personalities, they'd probably just be like, the hell was I doing? All right, I'm done. Not doing this now.
Nah, you can't argue that way. Come on. It's like you can't blame the girl that got touched on and stuff like that, and just and assume that she was
touching herself, then it's probably just like, oh,
no. We're talking about,
I'm done now. I don't want any part of this.
This is a whole nother person touching your body.
Well, then if somebody else switches over and they still want it, is it wrong for them to just say, you know what, we're halfway there, let's just keep going?
I don't know. It depends on the individual person. They have to give consent for any time their body is touched. If someone else is forcing their hand or, had them in the middle of the act, then that is non-consensual.
Now, I just have an odd question on this. What if the personality
Can you please put it back up so I can read it?
What are you, blind woman? Jesus Christ.
Oh, you mean like if one of the personalities was a kid?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
you guys ever see
really
50
weird.
States of fuck, I can't remember what it's called. Never mind. I won't derail.
Derail, it's all right.
United
That's usually
States
where
of
the fun
something.
starts.
United States of Terra. You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, it's great. Watch it. But yeah, I don't want to. If it's a
Now,
kid,
let's just say that in this supposed multiple personality disorder, because it has not been proven, not even solidly proven, they try to say it's proven. It is a cop-out of all cop-outs. So I say that with these personalities, I think it's because they're having all these little, with all the exposure, the left wing, the right wing, the center, the extremists of all types. These people are so desperate to fit in that they want to abuse others, but they can't. So they create this pseudo personality so that way they can do bad things and be excused, kind of like the liberals. And then they just fix shit and then fuck shit up. So I say, if they're getting violent with themselves, they sit on a plunger or whatever, it is rape, but they're raping themselves, and at least they're leaving the rest of us the fuck alone.
So
it took me a minute to figure out what side are you on?
I'm on humanity's side. These people are fucked. It ain't real.
Okay.
Jeebus doesn't love you. You're a mean person.
All right. So I want to get to this other question because this one's gonna test your morality for a second. I'm hoping it's not gonna be as great as some of the other ones, like is childbirth considered molestation? But it'll be in maybe my top 10.
Serial molester.
It'll be in my top 10. So there's no way to get into this other than, should crematoriums give discounts for burn victims?
Should crematoriums give discounts for burn victims? No.
But they're already half burned. I mean, half the job's already done. They should get a discount.
Now, yeah, but if you're gonna bake a pizza, you always have to preheat it to 400, right? And you have to bake it for so long. It doesn't matter if you put in half a pizza or, because the damage that a burn victim would have taken on is probably going to happen within the first few seconds of being cremated anyway. So yeah, you're not really saving any money. They still have to turn on all the gas. They still have to turn on whatever fuel they need to burn, to burn the body. And there's not going to be any savings there.
But it's less cook time. Maybe 10%. Come on.
No, I would liken this to like buying like a package of frozen chicken nuggets. All right, they were already cooked beforehand, but then you just got to put them into the microwave afterwards. You still got to cook them no matter what. So
you just got to finish them off.
Exactly. It takes the same amount of energy. It's just like, oh, okay, I just bought some chicken.
Yeah, they're preheated. Okay, they're pre-cooked.
They may be preheated, sir, but they've already suffered enough. And you haven't even bothered to say whether or not they're alive or dead when they're offering the goddamn
have never
discounts.
Suffered enough.
Are you going to offer a discount while they're still alive? Are you saying we should burn the Jews? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, they should at least get a discount for doing a job.
Red's off the leash.
How dare you? This is horrific. Think about those that survived the death camps. All right. They shouldn't even bother cremating these folks. I mean, they've been through shit. They've been through all kinds of oppression. They have been marginalized and ostracized. And now you're going to say they get a discount burning? Come on. These Jews saved their gold in places you don't even want to think about where they put this stuff. How dare you think that they're not worth getting the full price?
Just because you get a discount doesn't mean you're getting half the job.
Exactly.
Of course, a man, half the job. Just because it's a hand job doesn't mean it's half the job.
Well, hey, in that sense, nobody ever said it was half a job. When you finish.
Merck said it was half a job. You don't need to say, Fox Scott, tell these Jew-hating freaking homophobes that they're wrong.
What are you, you're the female brown bomber now? Jesus.
What the heck did I just join?
No, crematoriums, discounts for burn victims.
Abandoned ship.
Are you going to say that anorexics should get a discount too because they don't have as much fat to burn now?
Why not?
Really?
Yeah. Overcharge the seriously obese. I mean, hell, the airlines are charging fat people twice as much for a fucking chair. You got to get a bigger oven for somebody who's 600 pounds.
Now, if a fat person, if you have to saw them in half, then yeah, that's a little extra work. So you need to charge them extra.
I completely forgot about
that. So now you're doing less work.
Less work. Leave it to you. What are you going to say that immigrants should get free cremations now? What you just want to give all the fucking money away, don't you?
Whose side are you on?
I don't know what side.
She took that free-for-all literal.
Yeah. You're using terminologies of liberals and using conservative arguing points.
Oh my God. Oh, get back on the leash.
I'm so confused.
So am I. This is my show. I'm confused.
I forgot that there was I forgot the show was today, so that's why I'm late. I apologize.
Hey, Fox Scott, that's okay.
Oh, it's all right. It's probably a good thing you were late. Oh, fuck me.
That bad, huh?
Oh, okay.
We did the last two questions as a free-for-all, and I just decided to pick the contrarian side to every point that was ever put up.
For you, Mr. Fox, since we're going to run a little long today, and I apologize for that, but I want this last question in because I just realized it was there, and Mr. Fox Scott has joined us. So,
does I gotta behave now?
Nope.
I can't guarantee I'll be here for very long, but I can be here for a little bit.
10 minutes. Not even that, because after this, you're gonna want to run away.
Okay. I already want to run away.
Is it wrong to grow brain dead babies to harvest organs?
Oh,
no.
Dear.
You still want to stay?
Merc, what the heck have you been doing with your free time?
Well, unfortunately, his wife was stream whoring with a bunch of people, got in touch with cancer, AIDS, and all kinds of things, and it's contagious.
So you are purposely growing brain dead babies.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Is this
have you met the Liberal Party?
Is it the island?
Is this like stem cells?
They're among those.
I mean,
you know what? Let me start this off in the absolutely wrong direction because that's just what I do. I say it is not wrong because if it was wrong, then we wouldn't have these liberal people out there walking around in these bodies. They are actually human zombies. They are brain dead. They have no thoughts for themselves. They just go around, and you know what? When they die, their organs are just as good as everybody else's.
I'm gonna say no, because at this point, so this kind of harkens back to one of those like vegan debates. So at this point, you are dehumanizing the baby so much that you're using it, that you're breeding it and bringing it up just to kill it, to harvest it for some reason. And I don't agree with that. If it was a human, if we were able to like take a lamb's organs and put them in a human, and we were going to grow brain dead lambs in order to harvest organs, I'd be okay with it. But growing brain dead human babies to harvest organs, no. Now, if a baby was born brain dead and the organs could go to good use, then I say use them. Don't let the life go to waste fully. But yeah, that's where I'll go with that one.
No, we can. You gotta have somebody for like. If I have a terminal disease and there is nobody out there who has my blood type, or their organs won't match mine, I would want a specific
baby pancreas.
Harvest. Yeah, give me let it. It's gonna grow up. I'm not gonna have like this thing the size of my thumb, but they're gonna grow up. I'm going to harvest their organs so that I could live. And then you can use it for multiple people. It's not like it's a one and done type thing. You keep them on life support, and then once everything's all done, you can chop them up. You can use them as feed for livestock. There's so many things. Fertilizer, Soylent Green. There's so many uses for it, and already have so many. We're so overpopulated that why not?
Did you just say grind them up and feed them the livestock?
Yeah, why not?
Soylent Green.
This is getting darker and darker.
Yes, it is.
I think the point that really turns this is the fact that they're brain dead.
Yeah, they're not people.
Yeah, but you're growing them brain dead. I don't know. Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, I did a video not too long ago explaining my stances on abortion, and I pointed out the 7 principles of life by which scientists determine life. And I used that as my argument, seeing how a fetus fits into those 7 different points. When it comes to brain dead people, they fall short of a couple of these on a couple of the points of life. Actually, if I bring them up, I could probably point one out to you specifically. But then, yeah, I mean, scientifically, if it's not even considered a life, then I mean, why not? And if it was genetically bred to do that very thing, it's no different than like
a cow.
Yeah, exactly. No different than a cow or a sheep or anything like that. Let me see if I can find these.
Animals and humans aren't the same thing.
Aren't they under the same like genus?
I get the argument though. But
humanimals.
Or kingdom.
You're manimals? Wow.
We're all part of the same kingdom.
You maniacs! You burned it up.
Program, improvisation, compartmentalization, energy, regeneration, adaptability. No, wait, that's not it.
I don't know what that was.
No, I'm
randomness initiated.
I'm trying to find the 7 principles of a life. Maybe I still have it on my computer somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it.
Oh, we got the king, Cthulhu, queerbait himself. Joining us in the chat. Just in time. You missed it ago when I ranted about retard shit.
Here it is. So in order for something to be considered alive, it has to, number 1, respond to its environment. Number 2, growth and development. Yeah, you could probably get that. Reproduce and offspring. This is the most controversial point, and a lot of people don't like this one because then that's insinuating that children aren't alive. I mean, basically,
what if you have a what if it's a testicular implant or transplant or like fallopian tube transplant?
You're a testicular implant.
See, unlike everybody in this room, I can actually drop kick you.
Are you gonna drop kick me?
Physically drop kick you.
Hey, we can still all enjoy it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, basically, according to this principle, and that's something I pointed out in my video too. Is like a lot of people disagree with the reproduction traits, that it should actually be axed off of there. Heredity of traits, yeah, you got that. Homeostasis, stable inner conditions, well, not necessarily if they're relying on a machine, but then again, the machine could be considered part of their environment, so therefore, yeah, it probably is sustainable. Metabolism, energy from chemical reactions, no, not if you're brain dead. And cellular structure and composition. Well, you
No,
got
I'm still sticking with my argument that if there's a bunch of liberals running around, we've
They're already
already promoted the use of fetuses being, propagated. All right.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. We've kind of run over time, and people got
I
to get on to
apologize.
real life.
No,
Oh no,
no,
it's
it's
fine.
not you.
So
I was trying to get all scientific with you guys.
no, it's all good. And
If you look at the research involved, you will see that blah 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 blah
Can you
blah.
queue up a teal deer video on this? You can watch it for an hour or so.
Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, everybody coming on.
Here.
Appreciate everybody
Just let
coming
y'all
on.
know over there.
I'm a fucking mute people.
Lena's actually.
Good night. I appreciate everybody coming on, and I'm gonna give the first crack at his little spot promo to Mr. Teatac, because I know he's got a bugger. So Mr. Teatac, you got 30 seconds. What do you want to plug?
30 seconds? Oh shit. I have a YouTube channel that I every once in a while put a parody song or something up. I dick around on Twitter when I can, and I stream every once in a while with Irate Prostate and the White YouTuber and Gemini and that. And there's a possibility I'll be streaming with Whitey tonight around 6:30. So yeah, that's my plug. Teatac pretty much everywhere. So just look me up.
Will do. And definitely, if you're watching this, go subscribe, go check out his stuff, and catch him on his next live stream. And so, Mr. Messiah, I appreciate you coming on, and you've got your 30 seconds. All to you.
Oh, 30 seconds. I can plug whatever I want.
Preferably not an orifice.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
Knew that was coming.
Guys, you can go and find me on YouTube. I finally have my name, Messiah of Keg, back. You can follow me on Facebook on the same name. Follow me on Twitter. I think there's a link in the description for my Twitter, isn't there?
Yes, there is. If not, I will.
Okay. Yeah. You can just follow me on Twitter too. You can join my Discord. We have a lot of fun there. And if you can, please help me out on my Patreon or my Streamlabs, because I have children to feed.
Don't we all? All right. Miss Red, one video, 22 now or 21?
I don't know.
She got over 20 subscribers with one video.
Teatac's my most recent subscriber, and I'm gonna plug him. He actually his most recent one, the beta male music vid he did was actually really awesome. You guys should check that out. But my video is, Merc and I are going to do some editing today and put up the content that we've got ready to go up, and actually give my loyal viewers of my whole 21-second video something else.
Of which people only watch about 10 seconds of.
Yes.
Yep,
Her subscriber to video, or her subscriber to content ratio is outstanding.
I'm almost as good as Lotus Wolf. Hi, Lotus. I see you, and I see you.
30 subscribers per second.
Yep. All right, Mr. Fox Scott, since you decided to join us late, you get 5 seconds. Hurry up and go.
Join my YouTube and Discord. Bye.
There we go. All right.
Subscribe to YouTube. Don't join it. I don't know how you join YouTube.
If you want longer, you got to show up earlier. All right.
I forgot it was happening. I get it.
Forgettable. It's okay.
It's all good. Hey, if you're watching, I know we only got a few people watching right now for the live, but if you pick this up later on, make sure you go check out these guys' channels. And the one lady, I guess,
Subscribe today.
Yes. Subscribe to her. Subscribe to their channels. Ingest their content. Like it. Thumb it up. If you like this video,
do it.
If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Either way, I really I guess I will see you all in the next video.
How did you?
What are you, Jack?
How did you mute yourself?
I don't know. Did I? Oh, fuck it. Whatever.
You did. I think you muted everybody.
Next video.
You muted everybody somehow.
Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.